In 1962, in the small town of Bentonville, Arkansas, a 44-year-old man was about to change the face of retail forever. Sam Walton stood in front of a modest storefront on the town square, keys in hand, about to open what would become the world's largest company. The experts on Wall Street had already written him off. The big city retailers laughed at his idea. Even his own brother thought he was making a mistake. But Sam Walton saw something everyone else missed. He saw that the heart of America beat strongest in its small towns, and those people deserved the same low prices as anyone in New York or Los Angeles. This is the story of how one man's obsession with serving the underserved built an empire worth over $600 billion. This is the story of how a farm boy from Oklahoma created more millionaires than any other company in American history. This is the story of Walmart. Sam Walton wasn't born into privilege. He came into this world on March 29, 1918, in Kingfisher, Oklahoma, during the Great Depression. His father, Thomas Walton, was a farm loan appraiser who moved the family constantly, chasing work wherever he could find it. By the time Sam graduated high school, the family had lived in several different towns across Missouri. This nomadic childhood taught Sam two crucial lessons that would define his entire life. First, he learned to adapt quickly to new environments and make friends fast. Second, he saw firsthand how hard life was for ordinary Americans in small towns, struggling to make ends meet with limited shopping options and high prices. Young Sam was different from other kids. While his classmates played after school, Sam was working. He milked the family cow every morning at 4:30 a.m., bottled the milk, and delivered it to neighbors before school. He raised rabbits and chickens, selling them door to door. By age 7, he had his first real business selling magazine subscriptions. He wasn't just earning pocket money, he was learning the fundamental principle that would make him billions. Give people what they want at a price they can afford, and they'll keep coming back. At the University of Missouri, Sam's entrepreneurial spirit exploded. He managed the school newspaper's business side and increased circulation by 30%. He organized his fraternity brothers into a buying cooperative to get better prices on everything from toothpaste to textbooks. He waited tables, lifeguarded at the pool, and still graduated with a degree in economics in 1940. His classmates voted him most likely to succeed, but even they had no idea how prophetic that would be. After a brief stint at JCPenney earning $75 a month, Sam joined the Army during World War II. He served as a communications officer in the Army Intelligence Corps, but even in the military, his mind was on business. He spent his free time reading every retail management book he could find. He studied the great merchants of history. He analyzed what worked and what didn't. While other soldiers dreamed of going home, Sam dreamed of opening his own store. In 1945, with $5,000 saved from his Army pay and a $20,000 loan from his father-in-law, Sam bought a Ben Franklin franchise store in Newport, Arkansas. It was a disaster waiting to happen. The previous owner had been losing money for years. The store was in a terrible location. The lease had a clause that would prove nearly fatal to Sam's dreams. But Sam didn't see problems. He saw opportunities. From day one, Sam revolutionized how the store operated. While other store owners sat in their offices, Sam was on the floor, greeting every customer, learning their names, asking about their families. He would get on his hands and knees to straighten merchandise on lower shelves. He swept the sidewalk himself every morning. His competitors thought he was crazy. A store owner doing menial work. It was unheard of. But Sam understood something they didn't. Retail wasn't about products, it was about people. Sam introduced radical innovations for a small-town store. He stayed open later than any competitor. He brought in a popcorn machine and gave free samples to kids, knowing their parents would shop longer. He negotiated directly with suppliers, cutting out middlemen to lower prices. He would drive 300 miles to save 50 cents on a case of goods. His wife Helen thought he'd lost his mind when he'd leave at 2 a.m. to pick up merchandise, driving all night to save on shipping costs. Within 5 years, Sam's Newport store was the most successful Ben Franklin franchise in the entire 6-state region. Sales had tripled from $72,000 to $250,000 annually. He was making more money than he'd ever dreamed possible. He had 2 young children, a beautiful wife, and a thriving business. Life was perfect. And then it all came crashing down. The building's owner, seeing Sam's success, refused to renew the lease. He wanted the profitable store for his son. Sam had overlooked one crucial detail in the original lease agreement. There was no renewal clause. Despite offering to buy the building at any price, the owner wouldn't budge. Sam Walton, the most successful franchise owner in Arkansas, was forced to sell his inventory, load his family into the car, and start over from nothing. He was 32 years old, and everything he'd built was gone. Most people would have been destroyed. Sam was energized. He learned the most important lesson of his business life: always control your real estate. Within weeks, he found a new opportunity in Bentonville, Arkansas, population 3,000. It was smaller than Newport. It was in the middle of nowhere. The nearest city was hours away. It was, by every conventional measure, a terrible place to open a store. It was perfect for Sam Walton. This time, Sam didn't just lease a building, he bought it. He didn't just open one store. He convinced his brother Bud to open another Ben Franklin franchise in nearby Missouri. Together, they began experimenting with something unheard of in retail: sharing information between stores. If something sold well in Bentonville, Bud would stock it in Missouri. If Bud found a cheaper supplier, Sam would use them too. They were creating the first hints of what would become Walmart's revolutionary distribution system. But Sam was frustrated with the Ben Franklin model. The franchise rules were restrictive. He couldn't buy directly from manufacturers. He couldn't set prices as low as he wanted. He was making money, but he wasn't serving customers the way he knew he could. In 1962, at age 44, when most men were settling into comfortable middle age, Sam Walton decided to risk everything on a new concept. He would open his own store, with his own rules, his own way. He would call it Walmart. The first Walmart Discount City opened on July 2, 1962, in Rogers, Arkansas. It was massive by small-town standards at 16,000 square feet. Sam had invested everything he had, mortgaged everything he owned, and borrowed from everyone who would lend to him. His total investment was $25,000. The New York retail experts who visited laughed out loud. The store was chaotic. The aisles were narrow. The displays were amateur. Watermelons were stacked on tables made from sawhorses and plywood. But prices were 20% lower than any competitor. Opening day was controlled chaos. Sam had advertised "We sell for less" in every newspaper within 50 miles. He hired a local band. He gave away free donuts. He had his managers directing traffic in the parking lot. By noon, the store was so packed that customers could barely move. They sold $35,000 worth of merchandise in the first week. The competition said it was a fluke. Sam knew it was just the beginning. The key to Walmart's early success wasn't just low prices. It was Sam's revolutionary approach to small-town retail. While Sears and Kmart focused on cities and suburbs, Sam targeted towns with populations between 5,000 and 25,000, places too small for the big retailers to notice. He understood these customers because he was one of them. They didn't need fancy displays or marble floors. They needed diapers at 2 a.m. and work boots that wouldn't break the bank. Sam's management style was unlike anything corporate America had seen. He didn't sit in an office. He was constantly moving, constantly learning. He would arrive at stores at 3 a.m. to check deliveries. He would work the cash register during busy periods. He would mop floors if they were dirty. But more importantly, he listened. Every employee, from teenage cashiers to veteran truck drivers, was encouraged to share ideas. If a stock boy in store 12 had an idea to reduce costs, Sam wanted to hear it. The Saturday morning meeting became legendary. Starting at 7 a.m. sharp, all managers would gather to share the week's numbers, problems, and solutions. But this wasn't a boring corporate meeting. Sam would lead cheers. He would challenge managers to competitions. Once, he promised to do a hula dance on Wall Street if the company hit certain profit targets. When they did, true to his word, Sam Walton, CEO of a billion-dollar company, put on a grass skirt and danced the hula in front of Merrill Lynch. The video made national news. The publicity was worth millions. By 1967, Walmart had grown to 24 stores with sales of $12.7 million. But Sam faced a crisis. The company was growing faster than he could manage. Inventory was a nightmare. Each store ordered independently, leading to chaos and waste. Suppliers were struggling to keep up. The banks were nervous about lending more money to what they saw as an overextended country retailer. Sam needed a solution, and he found it in the most unlikely place, a IBM computer that cost more than most of his stores made in profit. In 1969, Walmart became one of the first retailers to use computers for inventory management. The system cost $500,000, more than the company's entire profit that year. His board of directors thought he'd lost his mind. Computers were for NASA and universities, not discount stores in Arkansas. But Sam saw the future. With real-time inventory tracking, he could reduce waste, lower costs, and pass those savings to customers. Within 2 years, the computer system had paid for itself 10 times over. The 1970s brought explosive growth and new challenges. Walmart went public in 1970, trading on the New York Stock Exchange at $16.50 per share. Sam retained 61% ownership, making him and his family instant millionaires. But money didn't change Sam Walton. He still drove his old pickup truck. He still lived in the same modest house. He still got his hair cut at the local barber shop for $5. When a reporter asked why he didn't live like other wealthy executives, Sam replied, "I'm too busy working to spend money on silly things." The secret to Walmart's growth was its revolutionary hub-and-spoke distribution system. While competitors shipped directly from manufacturers to stores, Walmart built massive distribution centers. Trucks would bring products to these hubs, where they were sorted and immediately sent to stores within a day's drive. This meant stores could order smaller quantities more frequently, reducing inventory costs and ensuring fresher products. It was simple, brilliant, and incredibly difficult to replicate. Sam's treatment of employees, whom he called associates, was revolutionary for retail. In 1971, he introduced profit sharing for all employees, even part-timers. If the store did well, everyone shared in the success. Stock purchase plans allowed cashiers and truck drivers to buy Walmart stock at discounted prices. Many employees who started at minimum wage retired as millionaires. Sam knew their names, their spouses' names, their kids' names. He would show up at distribution centers at midnight with donuts for the night shift. He made every employee feel like they were part of something special. But success brought enemies. Established retailers saw Walmart as a threat. In town after town, local merchants organized boycotts. They spread rumors that Walmart was owned by communists. They filed lawsuits claiming unfair competition. In some towns, they even threatened violence against anyone who shopped at Walmart. Sam's response was always the same: lower prices even more. He believed that if he served customers well, everything else would work out. The 1980s saw Walmart become unstoppable. The company opened its first Sam's Club warehouse store in 1983, taking on Costco directly. By 1985, Forbes ranked Sam Walton as the richest man in America, with a net worth of $2.8 billion. But Sam was already battling a secret enemy: cancer. Diagnosed with hairy cell leukemia in 1982, he underwent chemotherapy while still visiting 200 stores a year. He would schedule treatments for Friday afternoon, spend the weekend recovering, and be back in stores by Monday morning. Sam's approach to competition was studied in business schools worldwide. When Kmart executives flew first class, Sam flew coach. When Sears built marble headquarters, Walmart's home office remained a converted warehouse. Every penny saved was a penny that could lower prices. He would visit competitor stores constantly, taking notes, measuring aisles, counting checkout lanes. Once, in a Kmart in Michigan, security detained him for crawling on the floor to measure the depth of their shelves. When they realized who he was, the manager asked what he was doing. Sam replied, "I'm trying to learn how to run a better store." The technology revolution of the 1980s found Walmart at the forefront. They were among the first to use barcodes for scanning. They pioneered electronic data interchange with suppliers. They launched a private satellite network, allowing instant communication between stores, distribution centers, and headquarters. Each innovation cost millions, but Sam understood that technology wasn't an expense. It was an investment in efficiency that would benefit customers through lower prices. By 1987, Walmart had surpassed Kmart and JCPenney to become America's largest retailer. The boy from Oklahoma, who started by milking cows, had built an empire. But Sam wasn't satisfied. At a manager's meeting, with sales exceeding $20 billion, he challenged his team, "We're still only in 25 states. There are 25 more waiting for us. And after that, there's the rest of the world." International expansion began in 1991, with a store in Mexico City. Critics said Walmart's small-town American model wouldn't work in other cultures. They were wrong. By adapting to local tastes while maintaining low prices, Walmart found success in country after country. Today, Walmart operates in 24 countries, under 48 different names. The sun never sets on Sam Walton's empire. Sam's final years were both triumphant and tragic. In 1991, Walmart became the world's largest retailer with sales of $55 billion. President George H.W. Bush awarded Sam the Presidential Medal of Freedom, America's highest civilian honor. But the cancer was winning. Sam spent his last months visiting stores, talking to associates, passing on his philosophy to anyone who would listen. He was terrified that his death would mean the death of Walmart's culture. On April 5, 1992, Sam Walton died at age 74. His last words to his family were about the business. Even on his deathbed, he was reviewing sales figures and discussing expansion plans. Kes, the man who had revolutionized retail, who had brought affordable goods to millions of Americans, who had created more millionaire employees than any company in history, was gone. But his legacy was just beginning. At the time of Sam's death, Walmart had 1,928 stores and 371,000 employees. Critics predicted that without Sam's leadership, the company would falter. They didn't understand that Sam had built more than a company. He had built a culture. Every Saturday morning meeting still starts with the Walmart cheer. Every associate still has profit sharing. Every decision is still filtered through Sam's simple question: is this good for the customer? Today, Walmart is almost unrecognizable from that first store in Rogers, Arkansas. With over 10,500 stores in 24 countries and 2.3 million employees, it's the world's largest company by revenue, bringing in over $650 billion annually. Every week, 230 million customers shop at Walmart. The company that started with $25,000 is now worth over $400 billion. If Walmart were a country, its revenue would make it the 24th largest economy in the world. But the numbers only tell part of the story. Walmart fundamentally changed how the world shops. The concept of everyday low prices, rather than sales and promotions, is now standard in retail. The supply chain innovations that Sam pioneered are taught in every business school. The idea that employees at every level should be partners in success has influenced companies from Silicon Valley to Wall Street. The impact on American society is immeasurable. Walmart has saved the average American family thousands of dollars per year through lower prices. In rural communities where Main Street was dying, Walmart provided jobs and affordable goods. During natural disasters, Walmart's logistics network often delivers relief supplies faster than government agencies. During Hurricane Katrina, Walmart trucks were distributing water and food while FEMA was still organizing meetings. Yet Walmart's dominance has also brought controversy. Critics argue that low prices come at the cost of low wages. Small businesses claim they can't compete with Walmart's scale. Suppliers complain about pressure to cut costs. Communities debate whether a new Walmart brings economic growth or destroys local character. These debates continue today, part of Sam Walton's complex legacy. The Walton family, still majority owners of Walmart, have become one of the wealthiest families in history. Together, they're worth over $250 billion, more than the bottom 40% of Americans combined. Yet they maintain Sam's frugal philosophy. They drive ordinary cars, fly commercial when possible, and live relatively modest lives for billionaires. Rob Walton, Sam's eldest son, served as chairman for 23 years, ensuring his father's values survived. The lessons from Sam Walton's life transcend retail. He proved that serving overlooked markets could build empires. He showed that treating employees as partners creates loyalty that money can't buy. He demonstrated that relentless focus on efficiency and cost-cutting, when passed on to customers, creates unbeatable competitive advantage. He embodied the truth that in business, as in life, success comes from serving others. Sam's autobiography, Made in America, written in his final year, remains one of the best-selling business books ever. In it, he shared his rules for building a business. Rule number 1. Commit to your business. Believe in it more than anybody else. Rule number 10. Swim upstream. Go the other way. Ignore the conventional wisdom. These weren't just business principles. They were the story of his life. Today's Walmart faces challenges Sam never imagined. Amazon and e-commerce threaten the physical retail models Sam perfected. Changing consumer preferences towards sustainable and ethical shopping challenged the low price at any cost philosophy. A new generation of workers demands more than profit sharing. They want purpose and meaning. Yet Walmart continues to adapt, investing billions in e-commerce, raising wages, and embracing sustainability. Sam would be proud. The transformation of Walmart from a single store to a global empire took exactly 30 years. In 1962, Sam Walton was a middle-aged retailer with a crazy idea. By 1992, he had built the world's largest company. It's a timeline that seems impossible, yet it happened. It happened because one man refused to accept that small-town Americans should pay more than city dwellers. It happened because that man worked harder, thought smarter, and cared more than his competitors. It happened because Sam Walton understood a fundamental truth. Business isn't about making money, it's about serving people. What made Sam Walton different wasn't his intelligence. Although he was brilliant, it wasn't his work ethic. Although he worked harder than anyone, it wasn't even his vision. Although he saw the future of retail decades before others. What made Sam Walton different was his genuine love for ordinary people. He didn't see customers as statistics or profit margins. He saw them as neighbors, friends, family. Every decision, from store locations, to product selection, to pricing strategy, was filtered through a simple question: will this help ordinary folks live better lives? This philosophy created a different kind of company culture. At Walmart, the greeter at the door was as important as the CEO. The truck driver's ideas were as valued as the vice president's. The part-time cashier could become a store manager, then a regional manager, then an executive. This wasn't corporate propaganda. It was reality. More than 75% of Walmart's store managers started as hourly associates. The current CEO, Doug McMillon, started as a summer associate in a distribution center. The financial success of Walmart created thousands of millionaires in unlikely places. Truck drivers who bought stock in the 1970s retired with millions. Cashiers who participated in profit sharing sent their kids to college debt-free. Small-town store managers became wealthier than big city executives. This wealth creation wasn't limited to employees. Early investors who bought Walmart stock at the 1970 IPO and held it would have seen their investment multiply by more than 5,000 times. But perhaps Sam Walton's greatest legacy isn't the wealth created or the empire built. It's the democratization of consumption. Before Walmart, quality goods were a luxury for many Americans. Brand-name products, fresh produce, and modern conveniences were expensive and often unavailable in rural areas. Walmart changed that. Suddenly, a farmer in rural Arkansas could buy the same products at the same prices as someone in New York City. This equality of access transformed American society in ways we're still understanding. The Walmart effect extended far beyond retail. Manufacturers had to become more efficient to meet Walmart's price demands. This drove innovation in production, logistics, and supply chain management. The barcode scanning system Walmart popularized is now universal. The just-in-time inventory management Walmart perfected influenced industries from automotive to healthcare. The data analytics Walmart pioneered laid groundwork for today's AI-driven retail. Environmental and social impacts of Walmart's model are still debated. The company's massive scale means its decisions affect millions. When Walmart decided to sell only sustainable fish, it transformed the fishing industry. When it required suppliers to reduce packaging, it eliminated millions of tons of waste. When it raised its minimum wage, it pressured other retailers to follow. With great power came great responsibility, something Sam understood even if he didn't always act on it. The global expansion of Walmart exported American retail culture worldwide. In China, Walmart stores sell live turtles and frogs because that's what customers expect. In India, they partner with local suppliers to source 95% of products domestically. In Japan, they learned the hard way that American-style big boxes don't work. Adapting to smaller formats, each market taught Walmart lessons that made it stronger globally. Competition with Amazon in the 21st century forced Walmart to evolve in ways Sam might not recognize. The company that Sam built on personal relationships and physical stores now invests billions in artificial intelligence and automation. Distribution centers use robots. Stores offer pickup and delivery. The website competes directly with Amazon. Yet the core mission remains unchanged: save people money so they can live better. The COVID-19 pandemic proved Walmart's essential role in American life. When lockdowns emptied cities, Walmart stores remained open, providing food, medicine, and essentials to millions. Employees were recognized as essential workers, heroes keeping society functioning. The company hired 500,000 additional workers to meet demand. The logistics network Sam built proved its worth when America needed it most. Looking at Walmart today, it's easy to forget. It all started with one man and a simple idea. Sam Walton wasn't a technological genius like Bill Gates. He wasn't a visionary like Steve Jobs. He wasn't a financial wizard like Warren Buffett. He was a merchant who understood that business success comes from serving others well. He proved that you don't need to invent something new to change the world. Sometimes, you just need to do something old better than anyone else. The principles Sam Walton lived by seem almost quaint in today's digital age. Visit stores personally. Know your employees by name. Sweep your own sidewalk. Listen more than you talk. Admit mistakes quickly. Celebrate successes loudly. Share profits generously. These aren't sophisticated strategies taught in MBA programs. They're human values that build trust, loyalty, and success. Students at Harvard Business School study Walmart as a case in strategic excellence. Economists analyze its impact on inflation and wages. Sociologists examine its effect on communities. Politicians debate its role in society. But they all miss what Sam knew. Instinctively, Walmart succeeded because it solved a real problem for real people. Millions of Americans needed access to affordable goods. Sam Walton gave it to them. The story of Walmart is ultimately the story of American capitalism at its best and worst. It shows how free markets can create enormous wealth and improve living standards. It also reveals how market power can destroy communities and exploit workers. It demonstrates innovation's power to transform industries, while highlighting disruption's human costs. These contradictions aren't bugs in Sam Walton's system. They're features of capitalism itself. Today, when entrepreneurs dream of building the next unicorn with venture capital and IPOs, Sam Walton's story offers a different path. He didn't raise money from Silicon Valley. He didn't have a prestigious degree or powerful connections. He had a pickup truck, a mortgage on his house, and an obsession with serving customers. He built his empire one store at a time, one customer at a time, $1 at a time. The management principles Sam developed are studied worldwide, but they're surprisingly simple. Give responsibility to people closest to the action. Share information openly and honestly. Admit mistakes and learn from them. Have fun and celebrate success. Think small even when you're big. Listen to everyone, especially critics. Exceed customer expectations every day. Control expenses relentlessly. These aren't secrets. They're common sense, applied uncommonly well. Sam's leadership style broke every rule of corporate hierarchy. He would bypass layers of management to talk directly to associates. He would change strategic plans based on a cashier's suggestion. He would publicly admit when competitors did something better. He would dance, sing, and wear silly costumes to motivate teams. He proved that leadership isn't about commanding from above. It's about serving from within. The famous Walmart cheer, which Sam borrowed from a Korean tennis ball factory, embodies this culture. Give me a W. Give me an A. 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 Give me an R. Give me a T. What's that spell? Walmart. Who's number one? The customer. Always. It's corny, even cultish to outsiders. But for millions of associates, it represents belonging to something bigger than themselves. Critics who focus on Walmart's negatives miss an important point. For all its faults, Walmart has improved more lives than almost any company in history. It has provided affordable goods to billions. It has created millions of jobs. It has generated trillions in economic activity. It has forced entire industries to become more efficient. These achievements don't excuse its failures, but they shouldn't be ignored either. The question facing Walmart today is whether Sam's model can survive in a digital world. Can a company built on human relationships thrive when shopping becomes algorithmic? Can everyday low prices compete with Amazon's everything store? Can American retail culture succeed in diverse global markets? These challenges would fascinate Sam, who loved nothing more than a good competition. What would Sam Walton think of Walmart today? He would probably be amazed by the scale. Over $650 billion in revenue would seem impossible to the man who celebrated his first $1 million year. He would love the technology, especially systems that help serve customers better. He might worry about the bureaucracy that inevitably comes with size. But mostly, he would ask his favorite question: how can we do better? The entrepreneurial lessons from Sam's journey are timeless. Start where you are with what you have. Solve real problems for real people. Work harder than your competition. Learn from everyone, especially failures. Reinvest profits rather than spending them. Build culture before building scale. Treat employees as partners, not costs. Focus on customers, not competitors. These principles worked in 1962. They work today. They'll work tomorrow. Sam Walton proved that ordinary people can achieve extraordinary things. He wasn't born special. He didn't have unique advantages. He simply refused to accept limitations that others considered permanent. When told small towns couldn't support large stores, he built them anyway. When told computers were too expensive for retail, he bought them anyway. When told he couldn't compete with established giants, he beat them anyway. The numbers tell one story of Walmart's success: 10,500 stores, 2.3 million employees, $650 billion in revenue, 230 million weekly customers. But the real story isn't in spreadsheets. It's in the single mother who can afford school supplies. It's in the rural family with access to fresh groceries. It's in the hourly worker who retired a millionaire. It's in the small supplier who became a global company. These stories, multiplied millions of times, are Sam Walton's true legacy. As we look at Walmart's journey from a single five-and-dime store to the world's largest company, the lesson is clear. Success isn't about revolutionary ideas or breakthrough innovations. It's about execution. It's about persistence. It's about serving others. Sam Walton didn't invent retail. He didn't discover a new technology. He didn't have a secret formula. He just cared more, worked harder, and never stopped improving. The boy who milked cows before school became the richest man in America. The failed franchise owner became retail's greatest revolutionary. The small-town merchant became a global business icon. Sam Walton's story proves that in America, anything is possible if you're willing to work for it. But more importantly, it proves that business success means nothing if it doesn't improve people's lives. From that first store in Rogers, Arkansas, to today's global empire, the mission has remained constant: save people money so they can live better. It's a simple mission that changed the world, and it all started because one man believed that ordinary Americans deserved better. Sam Walton didn't just build a company, he democratized the American dream. Every entrepreneur who dreams of building something great can learn from Sam Walton. Not just the tactics and strategies, but the fundamental truth he lived. Business is about service. Profits are the result, not the purpose. When you genuinely care about helping people, success follows. When you treat employees as partners, they become champions. When you obsess about customers, they become loyal. When you reinvest in growth, rather than personal luxury, empires are built. The Walmart story continues to evolve. New leaders face new challenges with new solutions. But the foundation Sam Walton laid remains solid. The values he instilled still guide decisions. The culture he created still motivates associates. The customers he served still shop at Walmart. The American dream he embodied still inspires entrepreneurs worldwide. Sam Walton once said, "If we work together, we'll lower the cost of living for everyone. We'll give the world an opportunity to see what it's like to save and have a better life." He delivered on that promise. From a single store in Arkansas to the world's largest retailer, from $25,000 to $650 billion, from one man's dream to millions of people's reality, Walmart stands as testament to what's possible when you refuse to accept limitations. This is the legacy of Sam Walton, a legacy written not in marble monuments, but in the daily lives of millions who live better because he lived. A legacy that proves success isn't about where you start, but where you're determined to go. A legacy that shows business at its best is about making lives better. A legacy that reminds us all, if Sam Walton could build Walmart, what's stopping you from building your dream? The story of Walmart isn't just business history. It's American history. It's the story of post-war prosperity, rural transformation, technological revolution, and globalization. It's the story of how one company changed how the world shops, works, and lives. But most of all, it's the story of a man who never forgot where he came from and never stopped fighting for people like him. Sam Walton died in 1992, but his spirit lives on in every Walmart store, every associate meeting, every price rollback, every customer served. He proved that business success and social impact aren't mutually exclusive. He showed that treating people right is good business. He demonstrated that the American dream, despite all its contradictions and challenges, remains alive for those willing to work for it.